All right, everybody. Hope you're having a great Thursday night. This is Ben Jones hanging out with you here. Just a kind of a dual chat. Actually, I count about three things. First, the storms that are going on now, and we'll talk about the storms that are going on tomorrow night. And then as we get further on down, I'll eventually touch on the latest with Hurricane Erin, which is leaving. Okay, so let's start with what's going on right now. We don't have any severe storms. Which is a good thing. What we're seeing is just regular old garden variety storms. There have been some special weather statements with some of this from time to time. This batch that is coming in to Putnam and Hancock counties here, Lake Oconee, this one has a special weather statement with that, just meaning maybe some gusty winds in there. And of course, putting on the pretty good little lightning show with some of these storms. But again, most of these are just normal storms. As far as we go on through tonight, probably just going to continue with this for at least the next couple of hours. Doesn't mean it's going to be, constantly lightning in these storms over and over again, but eventually the atmosphere will turn itself over. But right now that has not happened. So you can see up top here moving down into Jasper, Putnam, and Hancock counties rolling south. That's the one I was talking about a minute ago. The Macon area, seeing some thunderstorm action there. That is not severe, but putting on a pretty good show and almost kind of sitting still. There's a little bit of movement toward the south, but most of it is kind of in north and west Bibb. Let's zoom on in here. You can see running up and down Forsyth Road. Downtown kind of being left out for now. There's some sprinkles down there now, but most of the heavier stuff has been up in North Macon and then spreading over into southern Jones County. Let's roll on down. Outflow boundaries doing their thing here. If you follow these green lines, notice where the wind from these storms, these different outflow boundaries collide. That's where we're seeing new showers and thunderstorms, and we may even see something blow up right here with this, where all this is coming together. Fort Valley, on over into Perry, seeing some storms there. Again, not severe, just regular old thunderstorms. And the reason I'm showing you all this, first of all, because it's happening right now, but secondly, because this could be kind of how our map looks as we go into tomorrow night. Hopefully not. I mean, we have football Friday night, trying to get these games in, and of course we had some last week that had to be called early, so I'm sure there's a lot of folks wanting to see these games get in. If anybody's watching that has sway over games tomorrow night, try to at least think about delaying if you have to instead of just canceling them, because the severe threat is low. There could be some lightning, but if we can get some of these through and let them work themselves over and get out of range of those sensors, then you might be able to get some of them in. We'll see how it looks tomorrow. It may not even look like this if we can kind of turn the atmosphere over a lot tonight. One thing going against this, though, is there's a stalled frontal boundary that is running right through our area, which will be a focal point for more showers and storms. It doesn't mean, well, no, let me back up. It's not like just a normal afternoon, summer afternoon. You're probably thinking, well, man, we have thunderstorms every afternoon. Why so many? Well, again, with this boundary, kind of running, oops, drew it upside down. Let's try the other way. Right along through here. So that's, loosely drawn in here. But anyway, it's a focal point for showers and storms to develop along. So we'll see more of that as we go through the day tomorrow and again on Saturday. Okay, so let's take a look and see how things look on Future View. And then we'll get to some of the other stuff. There's a new model coming out in about an hour and a half. So this is what we have for now. It shows these storms eventually starting to wind down. I don't know if it's going to be clearing out that fast at 10, but maybe somewhere around 11 o'clock to noon. And then waiting for the heat of the day tomorrow to see what fires up. There's around 3 in the afternoon. I'm just going to kind of inch it forward here. This is around 5. So this will be our tailgate show in Monroe County Mary Persons tomorrow. We have moved that inside the Fine Arts Center next to the school, which will be cool. So that way, in case we do have lightning around, we don't have our whole crew out there with all of our trucks and cables. So on these kind of afternoons, we kind of have to have a backup plan. So that's where we'll be for the show tomorrow. That'll be neat. There's around 7 o'clock tomorrow, so around kickoff time. Not showing a ton. This model may have updated from what I saw earlier. Let's see. It does look a little different. All right, so let's go back. This is 5 o'clock tomorrow, 7, and then rolling in. Actually has a lot of difference in it with even some of the movement. Now, if this one's right, then this looks better as far as rain or storm potential for tomorrow. So the last one I saw had a bunch of color here as we got into this time of day. Again, around kickoff time, there was a lot more red here. So again, don't get locked in on where these blobs are. That doesn't mean that's where they're going to be. And as I said before, I'm hoping that we've turned the atmosphere over or are doing it now. There still will be a trigger out there for showers and storms tomorrow afternoon. But will we have at least zapped some of the ingredients out? A lot of heat and humidity, energy out there. We'll see if that is the case tomorrow. Then get into 10 o'clock. If this plays out like this, then that's not a bad scenario. So anyone who's watching or knows someone's watching, has any kind of plans, and it'll be a football game, whatever it is, don't go canceling just yet. Let's just watch and see how it goes as we go through the night. Some of those may just kind of take a little time to duck and dodge, and then you have to just kind of wait them out. Or you may get lucky and not see anything. There's around midnight tomorrow night. Then as we head into Saturday afternoon, scattered showers and storms as we go through the early afternoon on into the evening time, and then clearing as we go through the late night. Let me back that up. I'm trying to show a little bit of leftover sprinkle stuff there as we go into Sunday morning. Not sure that's going to happen. Otherwise, it'll be here in the afternoon as we go into Sunday afternoon for maybe some more, at least isolated showers and storms to pop up there. A little bit of a change, well, actually a big change once we go into next week. Here's a look at Sunday. And then just notice as we go through next week, you'll see not as much color. Notice Monday drying out. Tuesday looking pretty dry. Wednesday, same thing. Same thing really for Thursday. I did bring a little bit of a rain chance back next Thursday. So when we say like false fall or a fall-like feeling next week, temperatures will still be in the 80s. We could even have some upper 80s Monday and then maybe mid-80s as we go through the week, which would be nice. But the hope is that the humidity levels with that front coming through will have really changed a lot. Even if you have 80s still, as long as you have lower humidity, it doesn't feel nearly as bad out there. Let's go forward now to the latest on Hurricane Erin. And it's a Cat 2 that will continue to weaken as we head into tomorrow into a Cat 1 and then an area of low pressure. So we're pretty much getting to the point where we're not going to cover this storm anymore, as it's definitely not making landfall and is weakening. So it had some impacts, as you know, up through the mid-Atlantic coast, parts of the Northeast with at least some storm surge and rip currents and things like that. But most of this subsiding as the storm pulls away. And in case you are walking the dog beginning of next week in the extreme North Atlantic, you may have an area of low pressure up there. All right, so let's take a look with future view, and you can see the storm peeling away as we go through the day tomorrow on into the weekend. All right, so let's see. We have covered tonight's storms, tomorrow's possible activity, and then the latest and almost last discussion on Hurricane Erin. Just to go back around the horn again, none of this is severe that is out there now, and really not expecting to see that, but sometimes one or two can have a little bit of a thump to them. The only one that's really showing up right now that the Weather Service is putting a special weather statement on is these right here. They come down, they'll eventually roll into some of this already rained in atmosphere, and so they'll kind of weaken down, I think. Then, of course, in the Macon area, seeing some rain there. As we go up top, scattered stuff. Obviously in the red, you're going to see some heavy rain, mainly the northern half of Bibb County right now getting a pretty good rain, and that will continue for a while. It looks like it's trying to weaken up in some spots, but I don't see it totally fizzling out just yet. And then there's that cluster from Fort Valley on down toward Perry here. Let's see if the... Ooh, that Skycam looks absolutely terrible. Well, I'll try to pull that up again later when I can fix that. Let's go into the future view model once again. Again, it's not picking up totally on what's going on out there right now, but pretty close. And that is obviously we have some scattered showers and storms. So if you were not joining me earlier, it was one of the models that I saw earlier this afternoon showed a lot more activity for tomorrow afternoon. Now not as much. And of course the reason why we're talking about it, I mean obviously There's a lot going on Friday nights, people trying to get out and enjoy, but of course football is king around here, so a lot of football games. Let's get into Friday. Again, this takes us into 3 o'clock or so. This is around 5. Now, we are going to be at Mary Persons for our tailgate show during the 5 and 6 o'clock show tomorrow. And again, we'll be indoors at the Fine Arts Center just in case there are some thunderstorms around. But this doesn't look that bad. And again, I'm hoping that working the atmosphere over tonight with some of these showers and storms that we've been seeing will kind of take some of the fuel away for tomorrow. We'll see. There's around 7 o'clock for kickoff. It doesn't mean that that's where it's going to be raining exactly, because the next model run could come out, and that's not even there in reds down here. So don't get locked in on that. And then as we head into, say, 10 o'clock or so, still some stuff, and then eventually fizzling on out. As we head into Saturday afternoon and evening, scattered showers and storms there, and to Saturday night, and then that eventually quiets down. Then eventually we'll get into Sunday afternoon with the same thing. And again, next week, hoping for a little bit of that false fall. There's a chance of rain on Sunday, but then as we go through next week, you can see Monday pretty dry here. Tuesday, lower humidity is the hope, and the models are showing that, into Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So yes, we would still be in the 80s, but with the humidity down, it should feel a lot better. Okay, so that is that. And we'll see how it goes tomorrow afternoon. Just some regular old thunderstorms out there this evening. Enjoy them. And we'll talk to you later tonight, 10 o'clock, and of course the 11 o'clock show. We'll see you.